Handle position at address causes a slew of takeaway and backswing errors. If you're confused about where to position the grip relative to your arms and your body, well, stay tuned. This video is really going to help. Let's get stuck in. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Kerry Gray here on the range at Joondalup Resort, and today we're going to be talking all about how to position the handle relative to your body at address. It's one of the keys that is going to encourage a better takeaway and backswing movement, therefore making your downswing a lot easier. But before we get into it, please go down below, click subscribe, click that little bell so you get notified of all the great content coming your way. On top of this, we're also available here for online lessons and online coaching. So if you want some personalized drills and exercises to help you at home improve your golf swing motion, level up your golf game, level up that ball striking, well, I'm certainly here to help, and I'll post a link down below for that. So on to today's subject, once again talking about where to position that handle at address. I see a lot of recreational golfers do this in such a way which just causes some issues with the way that they take the golf club away, and there's a big misunderstanding of how it should actually be aligned. A lot of players are simply under the perception that the golf club should be simply set towards the center line of the body in the address position. So starting off setup, before we even talk about the motion, we need to understand why this golf club would need to be set slightly forward to encourage this club to be used exactly how it was designed to be hit. First of all, knowing that the right hand for the right-hander sits lower on the club than the left will naturally push that handle slightly forward. The way a golf club is designed is meant to be struck with a de-lofting of that golf club coming down into the ball, meaning we have an element of shaft lean, or where the handle is leaning in front of the head. This creates that descending blow, gets the low point or the bottom of the swing arc in front of the golf ball, and will encourage that divot and compression that you see with the best players in the world. So having the handle set slightly forward encourages that from the beginning of the golf swing, so you don't have to make as many manipulations throughout the motion. The right hand for the right-hander sits slightly lower. So if I have both hands set equal on the grip in the address position, well then yes, absolutely, the handle would sit more towards my body naturally. But if I then all of a sudden allow my right hand to go lower, well, you can see we create somewhat of a straight line structure between our lead arm and the club shaft. This is very important that we try and establish such a relationship here. Now, one of the issues with having the handle too set back, it also starts to affect the position of where we get our forearms, our elbows, our shoulders, and also our grip. When players come through the door for a lesson, I often see that when the handle is set too towards the center of their body, they have a weak left hand grip, a cupping of that left hand, and you can see that my elbow as such is almost preset to make this arms bunch chicken wing motion throughout the swing, and that's just going to cause a slew of inconsistency as a result. So what we are looking for in that dress position is to simply get the club slightly more forward at address. And the way that we're going to do that is by allowing, if we set the club face straight up in front of us, where the handle is slightly forward and two hands are positioned on the club like this. I would like to see that the left arm and that club shaft forms one straight line or some sort of structure like this, and that is simply going to, all things being equal, encourage that downward strike onto the ball. From the down the line view as I do that, we can see it creates this angle here. We're certainly not lining up into one straight structure like that. There is an angle difference between where that forearm is and the club shaft. The combination of those will deliver that golf club with that descending blow, reduce the loft, and get a little bit more power and compression as a result. So this is one of the things that we're looking for to ensure that the handle is not too set back. In addition to that, we can also see that players get the handle too far forward. Now, when we do this, we can see that players start to strengthen their grip unnecessarily. They start to inhibit their ability to turn back. We usually see that their body doesn't rotate at all, and it's a very armsy, choppy swing down on top of the golf ball, which is not going to encourage much consistency at all. So that's something to be mindful, is that we can also go too far forward in an attempt to get this lined up. Now, of the two, we want to be trying to find that nice middle ground. That's exactly where we want to be. So as we set up to the golf ball, following a little process where we're trying to get the club face straight at address, the two hands set on the golf club, where we can see that we're creating somewhat of a straight line structure with that lead arm and the club shaft, where the handle is slightly forward of the club head when it's set down on the ground, And that's just gonna make it easy once again to return it back to that point. Now this will feel very odd for you. It might feel like you've all of a sudden changed your grip, the positioning of the handle or something similar. But by going through this process and working on this consistently, it can make a massive difference to your ability to control that club face and control the low point and the power in which you get into that golf ball. Most golfers are looking for a little bit more compression, and how you position the handle at address relative to straight, relative to not getting it too far forward, just a few degrees of shaft lean at address, just so our right hand is complementing that position on the shaft, well, that will help massively. Now, relative to what we see in the effect of this with the rest of the upper body, if I set up to this, you'll notice a bit of shoulder tilt as a result of doing this. Once again, if I have the handle too far back, this lead arm's gonna bunch, the shoulders are gonna be too level, or in fact, if I have the handle leaning too far forward, we get too much shoulder tilt. Once again, inhibiting rotation and causing a slew of ball striking errors. So if you're able to establish this and get this set right from the word go, it can make a massive difference to improving your overall consistency and ability to return that golf club back to the ball in a predictable fashion, something that we all want to do a little bit more. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you got any questions at all, please ask me below. But until next time, I'm Kerry Gray. Thanks for watching.